Welcome to Zonk.
I, 31 female, have always been a romantic at heart and could not wait to experience the joys of a committed relationship, a hefty romance, and find just one who would match my energy. All these thoughts were over my head until I met Jack, 34 male, my husband, as fate would have it. I had dated a few different guys over the years, but with him, I thought he had something that would make me stick around for a very long time. A common ground, as most people would say. Kind at heart, gentle by words, and smooth by actions. He was my dream husband, or maybe I thought so. However, my relationship with my husband could have been better. Jack started doing extra time at the office in pursuit of a promotion at his workplace. He began spending less time with me. Sometimes he'd come home past 9 p.m. All our marital routines suffered abandonment. We did not go out for 3 months straight at one time. All we had were Saturdays and Sundays, though he always tried to make up for lost time. I felt unsatisfied. I had previously thought marriage gave a right to a combined decision or a joint conclusion, but that was just an illusion. Jack had done well and earned a promotion. He had to go through a 1-year internship to earn the raise. I begged Jack to adopt an excellent work-life balance, but he just looked at me like I was growing two heads and told me we already did plenty together, despite his long hours. And I just needed to be more supportive because he was trying to build a life for both of us, and it was only a few more months. This is when I began to notice our gardener's son, 19, Adrian, tall, muscled, with a bright face and clear skin. I could tell that Adrian had hit the gym over the past few months. His vast, sensual figure gave it away. I sent glances and a gentle smile to Adrian out through my kitchen window, which he was quick to notice and reciprocate. Someone was finally giving me the attention I was missing, and there was no better feeling. I felt that if my husband's busy schedule could not allow him to satisfy me, someone else playing that role would do him a favor. For the first time, it felt right to do something wrong. I knew about Adrian's interest in photography. He almost always carried with him a camera and a speedlight. Expressing my unnoticeable fake interest in art and photography, I managed to start a blooming conversation with Adrian. We clicked seamlessly and would soon invite him over to my place, which he agreed to. When he showed up the following evening, things escalated quickly, and Adrian made love to me. Then it became a routine, and we grew fond of each other. The feeling became mutual, and the heat of the affair increased. Adrian had become my boyfriend in a record 3 weeks. I'd invited my boyfriend, as usual, one evening. We were having a good time before I heard my doorbell ring. I panicked because I was not expecting a guest that evening. I pulled my garments and made Adrian hide behind the couch before rushing to open the door. My husband was standing right in front of me, saying he was sorry for not informing me earlier that he was coming home early that evening. I was dumbfounded, and my heart was racing. Jack quickly noticed that I was fidgeting and struggling to maintain a conversation with him. Adrian's camera was laying on the couch, as I had forgotten to get rid of it. It was the first thing that caught my husband's eye. He confronted me about it, but I was stammering and could not give a clear answer. Jack was mad, and he knew there was someone else in the house, so he started searching. When my husband entered the bedroom, I tapped Adrian's back, signaling him to come out and run. As he came out, he knocked on a lamp that was standing beside the couch, which hit the floor with a loud smash. Adrian froze as Jack caught him red-handed, grabbed his camera, rushed to the door, and dashed out, hiding his face. My husband was so furious and guilt was written all over my face. I spent the rest of the night tossing on the couch as my husband took our room all to himself. He had refused to talk or share the bed with me. The following morning, I made breakfast and did some chores. Later that day, I tried talking to him how our current situation led me to the act. Jack showed no interest in either listening or paying attention to me. I contemplated my husband's next move, and I knew our marriage was at great peril. On Saturday that week, Jack had gone out and showed up later in the evening with divorce papers. I remember begging him to listen to me before deciding to end our marriage, trying to explain my actions. I even suggested we sign up for therapy sessions to salvage our relationship. We just walked away unbothered. Early the following day, I called my lawyer. He offered to take care of the situation, but as usual, he asked for a deposit to kickstart the process. I remember seeing a pop-up message saying insufficient funds while trying to wire the down payment. As if on cue, my husband's lawyer informed me that I've been blocked out of any credit accounts under Jack's name. I was stranded and I had no money left. I never expected or imagined such hostility and cruelty from the man I had married. I wondered if he genuinely loved me. I was so mad at myself for the mistakes I had committed. At the same time, I felt like the universe was against me. I had no option but to sign the divorce papers, which I did. I'm now living at my parents' house, jobless, and they don't want me here. I'm so bitter about what life has to offer, and I think I'm stuck here. I heard Jack recently got a massive promotion, and that devastated me in ways that no one can imagine, thinking all the benefits that came with it, and that could have been mine too. I want to love and to be loved again, and make a good wife in the future, but I feel like time is running out. OP, if only you took your vows seriously, this wouldn't have happened. Like sure, your ex-husband definitely should have paid more attention to you, but he was working towards providing for you because you were apparently jobless. He wanted to make sure that his family he was building with you wouldn't have to worry financially. I think all you had to offer in this situation was just to have a little more patience and trust that your husband would give you all the attention you needed when he got the promotion he was working towards. And if he didn't change after the promotion, you could have simply divorced him. But no, you chose to ignore your vows and chase the high cheating on your husband could give you. You got what you deserve, and this will let you know that every action you take has consequences. So, enjoy the consequences of cheating on your husband, OP. Story 2. I'm 34 female, and my husband is 35 male. We have 2 elementary school age sons, married for just over 10 years. I work long rotations for work, consulting, and I'm away from home about 40% of the year, so it's very stressful to our marriage. I do love my job though, and I wouldn't change anything. We have found a good compromise, and it worked for us. I've cheated in the past when we were dating, but we put it behind us and have really moved on from it, and in a lot of ways are strong for it. He does mention the cheating every once in a while, and I wouldn't say he has forgotten. I floated the idea of an open marriage to him in the past, and he wasn't really receptive, but I wasn't trying to convince him either. The current issue. So I've been working 12 hours away from my family for the past 6 months, and once the holiday season passes, I'll be back to the rotation, and I'm going to be there until April. It's a really challenging operation, and I love it, but it's been stressful to be away from them. It ends up working out to me being home for about 5 days a month, and those days are glorious, but the time in between them is tough. One of the VPs at the company I'm working for has his eye on me for a while. We hit it off at work, and there's been a fun charge between us, but I've tried not to let anything happen. Well, something happened about a month ago, and we have been in an affair from until then. He has an open marriage himself. As bad as the guilt is, it's also been exciting and thrilling. He's a great lover, and we have really great chemistry there. To make things more complicated, I had an encounter with another man very recently too. This all has made me think about our marriage and monogamy. I've seen firsthand how prevalent cheating is, and I think it's an outdated model. It's near impossible, with even the best of intentions to uphold. I'm attracted to other men, and my husband I'm sure is the same way. We shouldn't let societal pressure confine us. I love my husband, but the distance is so difficult for us. I think for us, an open marriage is the perfect solution. We have a great family and a great home and a life we've built together. Our kids don't need to be shuttled around with 2 homes, 2 step-parents, and go through a divorce. That isn't fair for them. There's still passion with my husband and we still love one another, and I don't think we need a divorce. An open marriage lets us both explore without losing the stability of one another. I'm confident with myself and I would be fine, even supportive of him exploring too. I wouldn't be at all jealous, and I would want him to have fun too. So this isn't a hypocrisy issue. I am returning home on Friday and will be back for 4 weeks, and I would like to, over the holidays, bring up this and make my case to my husband. I'm just looking for some advice on how to make the case to him about why this is for us. I have my reasons, but I would love to have Reddit's advice and support. I've thought of some rules for us, such as nothing with any mutual friends and no falling in love, but I'm open to more suggestions. Also, I feel awful about the cheating, and I'm contemplating confessing to him about it regardless. I will wait and see his reaction to the open marriage and go from there about that. OP, your marriage is done. You don't suggest an open marriage after you've already cheated. You're trying to justify your behavior with the open marriage, but it can't be done. Face the fact that you and your husband view marriage and relationships differently, that it won't change, and that you both need to move forward separately. He deserves someone whose sense of loyalty and fidelity is part of their DNA, and that's obviously not you. Let him go so that he can find someone to make him happy. and won't cause him to trigger every time she walks out of their home because he can't trust that she's going where she tells him she's going. Do the right thing for once. Let this end. Quit being selfish. Now for some comments. Either way you cut the cake, you can't force your husband to be in an open relationship. You're sure that your husband is attracted to other women, but I call bullshit. A, because you can't know how someone feels unless they openly admit it, and B, you can find someone attractive without pursuing any kind of relationship with them. Either way, the only way to find out is to ask him about it, and not act like it's already been decided on until you talk to him. Consider what you'd do if your husband doesn't want to be in an open marriage. Honestly, I think that's the most likely to happen. I think you're incredibly selfish. You've convinced yourself that because cheating is so prevalent, it's okay for you to do, and therefore that you should be in an open relationship. You've also convinced yourself that your husband is attracted to other women and wants to exercise this attraction, despite any mentioned evidence on his part, and only because you're attracted to other men and apparently can't control yourself. You mentioned that your husband still brings up the cheating. He's clearly still upset about it. What on earth makes you think he would be cool with an open relationship? Whether or not you ask for an open marriage, you need to tell your husband of your infidelity. Even if he is okay with an open marriage, that does not make it okay to cheat. You're still being deceptive, and he deserves better for that. You honestly sound like you're in denial. Please, just accept the fact that you're trying to have your cake and eat it. Your husband is more likely going to be heartbroken, and for both your sakes will put his foot down and divorce you. There's nothing wrong with realizing you're not a one-man woman, but you really should know these things before you get married and have children. And even if you did, a proper open marriage would be discussed before you engage with other men. What I often see in these, my significant other just cheated on me, is that the significant other will often push for open relationships while they were already cheating. They usually do it in a way to save face from their lack of self-control. Don't convince your husband, because wanting an open marriage is just a symptom of your lack of self-control. You are hurting your husband, and you're not suited to be a faithful wife. That's all there really is to it.